Is going on, comic book fans, guys and girls? I am back after a 2-week hiatus, and yes, it's gonna be a really fun final order cutoff recommendations and speculation video. It's actually a doozy. There are so many cool covers. There are so many books that actually had a little bit of something in the guts for you speculators, and then there was only one new #1 that I was really excited about, so that section will be nice and short. But the cover section is gigantic. There are so many cool covers that I'm excited to show you guys. Some of them will be good for speculation, others are just really cool covers that I'm really excited to show to you guys. So let's not delay this video at all, but there are a few things that we need to cover before we dive into the comic books themselves. Guys, this is final order cutoff. I'm showing you the books that I'm excited about, so that way you guys have a chance to order these books at a discount. Now, the discount will depend on where you order them from. Now, I would suggest checking out mycomicshop.com, going to their pre-order section, because you can save up to 35% off the cover price of these books, but they don't have a final order cutoff section. So I would go to maybe leagueofcomicgeeks.com, put together your list of books that you're interested in for final order cutoff, and then go over to mycomicshop.com, type in those books, find those books, get that juicy, sweet discount. Now, if you guys are interested in picking up any of the books that I'm going to show off on today's video, you guys have until October 21st to get your orders in by. That is the order deadline date. Now, some comic book shops and some online retailers want you to get your pre-orders in before Monday, because Monday is the 21st, but the hard deadline is October 21st of 2024. Now, the other thing that I need to let you guys know, I put this list together yesterday. Today is Thursday, October 17th of 2024. I put this list together on the 15th, and guys, the books are not locked in on final order cutoff until Friday at 5 p.m., which is tomorrow, my birthday, October 18th of 2024 at 5 p.m. So books could be added or removed. So there might be a book that I miss, or there might be a book that gets removed from final order cutoff for this weekend. So I believe that's everything. I try to make it short and sweet. Let's not waste any more time. Like I said, the cover lover list is a doozy. So let's go ahead and dive into this weekend's final order cutoff cover lover picks. One last thing before we dive into these covers, guys. These are the covers that I really liked. These are the covers that I think might do well on the secondary market. But guys, there are so many other book covers and books on this weekend's final order cutoff. So make sure you guys are doing your own research. Make sure you're checking out League of Comic Geeks or Previews or any other site that you like to preview your books for final order cutoff, and check them all out, because you do not want to miss out on a book that you're really interested in. All right, let's go ahead and dive into these cover lover picks. And first up is the Ultimates issue #7. Now, this is the variant cover done by Miguel Mercado, and it's fantastic. Miguel Mercado has been putting out banger after banger lately, and this one right here is so good. Now, after that, it's Absolute Batman issue #2. This is the cover B. It's done by Daniel Warren Johnson, and it's probably my favorite cover for issue #2. There were some true bangers for issue #1, but issue #2, I didn't really see anything that I really loved except for this one. This one is so cool. It's Daniel Warren Johnson. He's amazing. And if you have not read Absolute Batman issue #1, do yourself a favor. Get your hands on either a digital copy or a copy itself and read it. It is incredible. So good. Such an amazing way to kick off the Absolute universe. All right, guys, next up is a book that I would say is possibly spec-worthy. This is Uncanny X-Men issue #6 with the Rogue variant in the 1 in 100 Virgin Ratio variant done by Adam Hughes. Now, is this Adam Hughes' best cover? No, I don't think it is, but it is at Adam Hughes, and I think the spec play would be the 1 in 100 Virgin variant, not the trade dress, because trade dress is open order. All right, next up is a cover that I think is so cool. This is Green Lantern issue #17, the cover B done by Chris Samney. It's just great. It's really, really good. I think the trade dress looks great on it. The barcode's not too annoying. And just the vibrant neon green is so good. And Chris Samney's art is fantastic. All right, guys, next up is Batman and Robin issue #15. This is the cover B variant done by Simon DeMeo. New creative team on this book as of issue number 14 with Phil Kennedy Johnson and the artist I can't remember. And yeah, this cover by Simon DeMeo is freaking fantastic. Now next up is another cover for the same book, Batman and Robin issue number 15, but this is the cover F. It's a 1:25 ratio variant done by Ashley Wood. Ashley Wood, it has a very distinct look to him, and this cover is so cool. I like all the artwork this guy does. If I see any Ashley Wood covers on Final Order Cutoff and it's not too crazy of a price, I usually try to pick them up. I have a whole Ashley Wood section in my cover lover box because these covers are so cool. Now next up is Wolverine issue number 4. This is the Marvel's vs. Capcom variant done by Bengus. Now he's done a whole line of these variants, and this is my favorite. It's the only one that I really like. It features obviously Wolverine, and he does look a little silly, like the headdress is insanely big. But I don't know, for some reason, this is the one and only one of this series that I am drawn to. It is just really cool. Now, next up is a cover that I don't love, but I don't hate, and I kept on coming back to it, so I had to add it to the list. This is X-Force issue number 6 with the Sage variant. There's also a 1:50 Virgin ratio variant done by Jay Anceletto. And what I don't like is that you can kind of see her eyes through her sunglasses, but they're closed, which is really strange. I don't know why. That's the one off-putting thing about this. Also, why is she holding guns with screens around her? Makes no sense. But the artwork itself is really, really good. Now, next up is a great cover for Geiger, issue number 8. This is the cover C variant done by Leonardo. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the last name. It is just really, really cool. You got Geiger in the middle. He looks like he's going fully nuclear with the Statue of Liberty behind him. It is a really cool cover. Now, next up are a bunch of covers for G.I. Joe issue number 1. That's right, guys. We're finally going to get our hands on G.I. Joe. I'm so excited for this. This is going to be written by Joshua Williamson, and I think it's going to have art by Tom Rayleigh. And there are so many good covers. The first one I want to talk to you guys about is the cover E variant. This is done by Lee Bermejo, and it's fantastic. You got Cobra Commander and you got Duke like coming at him to punch him, but you only see Duke in the reflection of Cobra Commander's visor. So good. Now, next up are the more sexy lady covers. First up is the cover F variant done by Sozo Micah. Now, there is a version of this I think you can pick up on her website. I'm sure you can pick up at this weekend at New York Comic Con. There's going to be multiple versions of this cover, but this artwork is so good. It is so good, but it's not my favorite. No, next up is G.I. Joe issue number 1, the cover G version and the cover Q foil version done by Jenny Frison. This, hands down, is my favorite cover for G.I. Joe issue number 1. It is so, so good. Now, I'm probably going to try to score the G and the Q. I think both would be absolutely fantastic to add to the old collection of Frison covers that I have in my closet that I hope to someday find a way to display on the walls of my room or maybe my man cave in my future house that I'm going to buy with Stephanie. But these covers are so good. Now, there are 2 more covers that I really like. Next up is the cover H, which is the 1:10 ratio variant done by David Nakayama. It's not my favorite Nakayama, but it is pretty decent. And I don't know, is it her head is too small? Maybe it's that she's like smiling, or maybe it's her chest is in a weird position. I don't know. There's something off about it, but I still really like it. All right, guys, next up is the cover I. This is the 1:25 ratio variant done by Jeff Spokes. Again, this is another cover that I don't love, but I don't hate, and I kept coming back to it, so I added it to the list. All right, guys, that is the final cover for G.I. Joe issue number 1. We have so many more covers to cover. Next up, we have Batman Gotham by Gaslight, their Kryptonian Age issue number 6. This is the cover C variant done by Edmund Galmon. It's just fantastic. This is definitely my favorite cover. I wish the interiors of this book looked like this. They look nothing like this. But this artwork featuring Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman from the Kryptonian Age, or I should say the Gaslight Age, Kryptonian Age. It's really, really good. All right, guys, next up, we get a bunch of covers for Laura Kinney Wolverine issue number 1. First up is just the cover A. It's done by Elena Casagrande, and it is really good. I don't know. Some reason I really like this cover. It's really weird with like her energy beams or whatever, the white lines coming off her claws, which is strange because that would never happen, but it's also just really cool. I don't know, I like the artwork. All right, guys, next up is the 1:25 ratio variant done by Cal New. His artwork fits certain styles and certain books and certain characters, and this one just hits. It is really good in my opinion. I'm definitely going to try to score myself a copy of this guy because I think it's really interesting. Now the next cover is the variant cover in the 1 in 100 Virgin Ratio variant done by J. Scott Campbell. Really good. I really like this one. Definitely not going to get the 1 in 100. I don't have the budget for that kind of stuff, but I've definitely already pre-ordered myself a trade dress of that cover. One more cover for this issue. This is the variant cover done by Jay Anceletto. I like Laura Kinney's look in this. I think she looks absolutely awesome. I love the perspective on it. I don't love the Krakoa tree. Can we get rid of that and just like have buildings? Because I think the Krakoa age, it like puts such a terrible taste in my mouth. Every time I see it, I'm like, ew, gross. Can we just forget that even happened? But the artwork of Laura Kinney is really good. Next up, guys, is a fantastic cover. This is Mystique issue number 2 with the variant cover in the 1 in 50 Virgin variant done by Franny. Holy guacamole. These covers for Mystique have been so good. Issue number 1 had that Yasmin Pruti 1 in 50, so good. This one, I like that there is a trade dress, so that means I can get myself a copy of this cover, but that 1 in 50 is so good. The Virgin, so good. But I already pre-ordered the Franny, so I'm getting that one. Unless the 1 in 50 is really cheap on my comic shop on New Comic Book Day when this releases, I'll get it. If not, just the Franny or the trade dress. All right, guys, next up is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Night Watcher, issue number 4, just with the cover A done by Juni Ba. It's fantastic. I read issue number 1 of this series. I did not hate it and I did not love it. It was just like a good book. I did not like the reveal of the Night Watcher character at the very end, but overall, this cover, we're just talking about covers right now. This cover is really good. All right, guys, next up is a banger. This is Black Lightning, issue number 1 with the cover C variant done by Sanford Green. Holy shit. This cover is so good. I try not to swear on the channel because I want this video to be, you know, decent or good for all ages. But man, holy, this is so good. So good. Black Lightning looks freaking awesome. Now, the story for this is in like an all-in access new number 1 series featuring Black Lightning. I wish the synopsis sounded a lot cooler than it was because it did not make the recommendations to read because I think the synopsis sounded really lame. I am going to give this book a shot, but this cover right here by Sanford Green is amazing. All right, guys, next up is Batman Uncovered, issue number 1 with the cover A in the 1 in 50 Virgin Ratio variant done by Jorge Jimenez. So good. Now, this book is just going to be a book full of Batman covers, which is amazing. There's no story to it. There's just cover after cover after cover. It's kind of a money grab, but this cover is so good. Now, there is another cover that I really like for this same book. This is Batman Uncovered issue number 1 with the cover B variant. I'm pretty sure there might be a foil or version of this as well, but this is done by David Nakayama, and it is so good. All right, guys, this continues. Next up is Batman Uncovered issue number 1 with the cover E variant, and this is the 1 in 25 ratio variant done by Jeff DeCall. This is great. There's just a certain amount of design that was done for this. It's not just like pure line drawn artwork. There's definitely like a design aspect to it, and it's freaking fantastic. Maybe it's like, you know, because on my day job, I'm a motion graphics producer and I get to deal with a lot of design work, and this is just, it is really good. All right, guys, next up is The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 62 with the 8 Deaths of Spider-Man variant done by Scotty Young. I hope he does a variant for each one of these 8 Deaths of Spider-Man covers, and they each have something like this because they are so good. 61, I think, had one. 62 is one. It is just fantastic. All right, guys, I put this next cover on the list because you guys really liked the previous cover for this done by this same artist, and it began to sell well on the secondary market, so I want to add it to the list. This is DC vs. Vampires World War V, issue number 4 with the cover B variant done by Omer. It features Wonder Woman, the vampire, but I don't like the artwork style, but you guys do, so I wanted to make sure to share this with you guys. All right, guys, there are 7 more covers. All right, guys, next up are 3 covers for Absolute Batman Noir Edition, issue number 1. There's the cover A, there is the cover B blank, and there is the cover C foil virgin done by Nick Dragotta. Do we need this? No. Do I want this? Hell yes. I think this black blank cover would be really cool to get a white sketch on it. Would be so good. All right, guys, next up is Tales of Asunda, Volume 2, Issue number 1 with the cover B variant done by Jay Lee. Now, what is really cool about this cover is that it is Jay Lee. You can tell by the line work, but it's not his normal, like, super pointy faces and stuff. It's gorgeous. I really, really like this cover, especially because it's Jay Lee, but it's not his typical Jay Lee style. It is so good. All right, guys, next up is Storm, issue number 1 with the second print variant done by Jerome Opena. I got the first print of this, which was foil, and only the gold was foil. It was so good. I don't know if this one's going to be foil. It could just be a regular cover, but either way, having this in hand, the artwork was like that much better. It was really good. So if you guys missed the first print and you can't find the first print, pick this up. It's really good. All right, guys, next up is Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes Special, issue number 1 with the second print variant done by Gerardo Sandoval. Put it on the list because it's, you know, you guys really like this like new rollerblading character, and it's in the first print was selling well in the secondary market, so here's your second print if you missed the first print. Now the final cover that I found, I'm not 100% sure this is actually on final order cutoff. It's on previews, but it's not on League of Comic Geeks. But this is Batman Santa Claus Silent Night Returns issue number 1 with the cover C variant done by Dan Hip. If you guys watch the channel long enough, you know I am a huge Dan Hip fan, and this cover is just fantastic. And what a way to end the cover lover picks. So good. And Christmas is literally like right around the corner. Tomorrow, I'll be telling you guys it's Christmas. That's what it's gonna feel like, because time just goes by so fast. All right, guys, those are my cover lover picks. Let's go ahead and move over to the next section, which are the few books that I found with something in the guts for speculation. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and rock and roll because I know that cover lover section was really long. So let's dive into these books that had something in the gut. And first up is G.I. Joe issue number 1. And I'm going to go ahead and read this chunk out of the synopsis that talks about why you guys might want to speculate on this book. Featuring many familiar faces in the first appearance of an all-new character. Image Comics put in the synopsis that right there, the first appearance of an all-new character. This is the comic that will change everything you think you know about G.I. Joe. And that's only half the surprises in store for this chart-topping Energon Universe dream team of Joshua Williamson and Tom Riley. So we're getting a first appearance. There are so many covers. But speculation-wise, I'll probably stick with the cover A for the first appearance of this new character. This book is probably going to be very heavily ordered because it's G.I. Joe. So many of us comic collectors grew up in the age of G.I. Joe, so I'm sure this is going to be heavily ordered. But Absolute Batman issue number 1 was heavily ordered, and that's selling pretty well on the secondary market. So keep an eye on this book. If you guys like it, and especially because it has that first appearance, make sure you guys pre-order some copies for yourself. All right, guys, next up is Batman and Robin, issue number 15. Now, this has the first full appearance of a new character called Memento, and I believe he's supposed to be the new villain that Batman and Robin are going to be fighting in this book. So we're getting a new villain in Batman and Robin. All right, guys, next up is Black Lightning, issue number 1, with the first team appearance of the new Masters of Disaster. That is a terrible team name. All right, guys, next up is Amazing Spider-Man issue number 62. Now, this has the possible first appearance of a new scion of Karthak, the god who gives Juggernaut his powers. But don't forget about that Scotty Young cover. That's going to be freaking awesome. All right, guys, next up is Conquest 2099 issue number 4 with the first appearance of Ghost Spider 2099. I believe every single issue of Conquest 2099 has had a first appearance of some character of the 2099 universe, like Ghost Spider, and I don't know. There's always been something, which is pretty cool. I like that they're doing that. All right, guys, after that is The Incredible Hulk, issue number 19, with a big milestone issue. I had no idea there were this many issues of the Hulk, but this milestone issue is issue number 800. So this is going to be a big, beefy book with multiple stories from multiple creators, but your main story is coming from Philip Kennedy Johnson. I like the story so far, but I don't love it. I wish I did. But this cover by Nick Klein is freaking awesome, and there is a version of this as well. All right, guys, 2 more books with something in the gut, both Marvel. Next up is Spider-Boy issue number 13 with the secret origin of Spider-Girl in this issue. So if you got the first appearance, why not get the origin story as well? Because if you don't have the first appearance, second appearance, or the cameo, you always got to chase down that origin story. All right, guys, the final book that had something in the guts, Venom War issue number 5, with the introduction of a new Venom host and the debut of a new suit design as seen on the cover, which is pretty cool. I'm really excited for I think it's all new Venom coming up in the future, and it's going to be written by Al Ewing. I'm not super excited about that, but I want a new Venom character to follow because I like the character of Venom a lot. All right, guys, that is everything that I found that was something in the guts. Make sure you guys are checking the Comic Book Frontier, which is a great Facebook group run by my good friend Al, and also coverprice.com. Their article, I believe, comes out on Saturday. It's written by Lefteros. I also have Lefteros' IG down in the description below, as well as the Comic Book Frontier and Cover Price for all your speculation needs. All right, guys, those are all the books with something in the guts. Let's go ahead and cover the one book that I recommend you guys picking up to read because the story is gonna be so freaking good. The book that I think you guys have to be picking up this week on final order cutoff, only to read, nothing about speculation, no cover, even though there are some cool covers for this book, but to pick up for the guts, for the reading of the actual story, is Wind, the Power of Blood, issue number 1. Now, this is the third and final volume of this series, so you will have had to go back and read the 2 previous series to really enjoy what this book is going to bring. This is coming from the writer of James Tynion IV. Just hearing that name should tell you guys how good this book is going to be, and this does have art by Michael Delanis. Wind is such an incredible book. It is so good. It is a coming-of-age tale. Yes, I know. Some of you guys aren't into that. Some of you guys are not sucked into those stories like I am. I freaking love them so much. The artwork by Michael Delanis is incredible. Like, when you look at these pages, it is just some of the best artwork for this kind of story. Now, this is a very fantastical story. It's set off in a world where there's humans and there's orcs and there's vampires and there's fairies and all sorts of magical creatures. But there is a giant strife between humans and the magical beings. And this whole book is really about acceptance, coming to terms with that, you need to accept the people around you for who they are. And that's really, really important. You need to accept them for what they look like, their sexuality, just who they are as a being. And that was just told so well in this book. And the artwork sings. Oh my God, it's so good. And every issue is kind of like a fat issue. 48 pages. 48 pages is every single issue, I believe. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm right, though. It's a great story. So good. Every story, and it also doesn't read like a long story. It reads quickly because you're so engaged and engrossed in this story. But let's go ahead and read the synopsis for this last volume of Wind, the Power of Blood, issue number 1. As the final thrilling chapter of Wind takes flight, the king's reign is coming to a close, with Pipetown unaware of what awaits them, while Fairy Kind mobilizes for war, while Zadra the vampire keeps 2 faithful prisoners. Meanwhile, Zadra concocts a hair-raising plan concerning her deceased brother, the Bandaged Man. Now, obviously, if you have not read the previous volumes, that doesn't make any sense to you at all. But just know that these characters have been going on this long journey, trying to achieve something and to constantly run from people who want harm done to them. And they're learning so much about each other in this group, and they're affecting everyone around. It's just so good. So good. And Michael Delanis and James Tynion IV are both going to be at New York Comic Con this weekend. I do have 1 or 2 books that I'm going to bring from Michael Delanis. There's no way I'm going to wait in line for James Tynion IV. I know his lines will be freaking insane. But Michael Delanis, I believe we'll have nice little short lines. I'll get in there, get him to sign my Zawe. I'll get him to sign probably my Wind number 1. And it's going to be great. So good. All right, guys. That is going to be it for today's video. I'm back. That was probably not the best final order cutoff video. I probably stumbled a lot. I probably didn't give you the proper information. I probably didn't call out spec covers when I really saw them. I know I called out one or two, but there were some others. But just look for the little icon that I'll pop on screen if I do think the book is spec worthy or not, and I'll make a little sound effect to draw your attention to that point. But guys, I'm glad to be back. I love final order cutoff. I love giving you guys the information so you guys don't miss out on any of these books. But let's not make this video any bit longer. Any longer than it needs to be. Let's go ahead and wrap this video up. All right, guys, that is gonna do it for me this week. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you guys watched from the beginning all the way to the end. I also hope it wasn't too long. I've noticed that some of my Wednesday pull list videos are going over 35 minutes, which I gotta shorten those. I gotta find a way to shut up and just give you guys much shorter, briefer synopsises for things and just like describing things. But I get going and I just want you guys to know how passionate and how much I really enjoy comic books and the comic books that I'm reading and looking at and everything else. That's why I make these videos, because I want you guys to love this hobby as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. New York Comic Con is today, but I'm going tomorrow, and I'm so excited. It's my birthday. Stephanie's going to be there with me, and it's just going to be so much fun. I'm going to meet, hopefully, so many of you guys, and just so many awesome creators, writers, artists, everybody. I am so pumped. It's going to be such a great freaking day. David Andre, I'll see you there. It's going to be amazing. We're going to dinner. Just had a great day. Tomorrow is going to be so awesome. So you guys have a great weekend, a great final order cutoff. Make sure you guys are checking out my comic shop, mycomicshop.com for your pre-order needs. Get that 35% discount. And that's going to do it for today. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And let's go ahead and sign off. Have a great weekend. Have a great New York Comic Con if you're going. If not, just make sure you're checking all the apps and websites and getting your exclusives, because you don't have to just be at the show now to get those exclusives. You can find them online as well. All right, I'm rambling. Have a great weekend. Catch you in the next one. Peace.